Imagine a bottomless ocean, a crashing helicopter, a storm tearing a boat apart. Yet even in the most hopeless situations, people find a way to survive. Today, we'll explore 3 stories of incredible courage. A sailor who spent 133 days on a raft in the open ocean. A helicopter crew who survived a crash in the mountains. A group of yachtsmen left to the mercy of the open sea. These aren't fiction. These are real-life feats. Ready to learn how they defy death? Let's go! November 1942. A British merchant ship is attacked by a German U-boat. 24-year-old steward Pan Lien manages to jump overboard. He is the sole survivor of the 50-member crew. The challenge: 2 hours in icy water, a small life raft with minimal supplies, a few cans of biscuits, sugar, chocolate, and little water. No help is coming. He is completely cut off from the world. The solution? Pan Lien learns to survive, collects rainwater, hunts seagulls, catches fish and sun-dries them, even manages to catch a shark. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months. Supplies run out, the sun scorches his skin, and the sea feels endless. But Pan Lien doesn't give up. Climax. In April 1943, Brazilian fishermen spot a tiny raft in the middle of the ocean. Exhausted but alive, Pan Lien is rescued. He spent 133 days in the Atlantic, a record for open sea survival. Takeaway: patience and ingenuity are the keys to survival. Even in the depths of the ocean, you can find a way to stay human. February 13th, 1972. A helicopter carrying 6 crew members and 2 passengers crashes in snow-covered mountains. The survivors are trapped. Icy slopes, blizzards, and no trace of civilization around. The challenge? The helicopter is destroyed. Communication is lost. Temperatures drop below -30 degrees Celsius. Food supplies are minimal. No warm clothing. The blizzard hides their location from rescuers. The solution? The crew acts as one, builds a shelter from helicopter wreckage and snow, rations every calorie of food, starts a fire using equipment fragments, organizes shifts to monitor each other's condition. For 5 days, they fight for survival. The cold bites to the bone, strength wanes, but they don't lose hope. One crew member spots a light. It's a rescue helicopter. Climax? On the 6th day, the rescue team finds the survivors. All 8 people are saved, despite frostbite and exhaustion. Takeaway? In extreme conditions, unity in mutual aid becomes salvation. Together, you can endure even the fiercest blizzard. October 2006. A yacht with 5 experienced sailors gets caught in a massive Pacific Ocean storm. Winds reach 140 kilometers per hour, waves 12 meters. The vessel loses control and then capsizes. The challenge: the yacht is partially flooded, equipment damaged, contact with shore is lost, GPS is down, limited water and food supplies. Around them, an endless ocean, no land or ships in sight. The solution: the team acts with composure, secures surviving items to prevent loss in the waves, collects rainwater using tarps, uses fishing gear to catch food, maintains morale. Each day they discuss action plans and share memories. For 6 days they battle the elements. Waves batter the vessel, wind tears at the sails, but the crew holds on. On the 7th day, they spot smoke on the horizon. It's a passing cargo ship. Climax: the cargo ship captain notices distress signals and changes course. The yachtsmen are pulled aboard, exhausted but alive. Their story becomes an example of how discipline and mutual support help survive in the open sea. When nature throws a challenge, only unity and the will to live can become salvation. Even in the heart of a storm, you can find your way home. 3 stories, 3 trials, but they share a common secret: willpower. They didn't give up, even when the odds were slim. Resourcefulness. They used everything at hand to survive. Unity. They supported each other, and it saved their lives. These people proved that in the deepest darkness, light can be found. What would you do in such a situation? Think about it. Like this video if you found it inspiring. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new stories about the strength of the human spirit. See you soon. What if someone told you you won't survive? What if your odds were less than 1%? Today, we'll explore 3 stories of people who heard that and replied, "We'll see." You'll witness how a pilot landed a burning plane in a field with no manual and children on board. How a teenage girl survived a 3-kilometer fall and 11 days alone in the Amazon jungle. And how one soldier saved 100 lives by breaking every rule. These aren't comic book heroes. These are real people. Their weapons, determination, wit, and a touch of madness. Let's begin. August 21st, 1963. Aeroflot Flight 124 departs from Tallinn for Moscow. After 15 minutes, both engines fail. Altitude, 500 meters. Below, the city of Leningrad. The problem? No thrust. No chance to reach an alternate airport. A city below, a crash would kill hundreds on the ground. No official procedure for this scenario. The manuals are silent. The solution? Captain Viktor Mostovoy makes a daring call: land on the Neva River. But the river is narrow, flanked by bridges and buildings. One mistake, and it's a fireball. Climax. Speed, 300 kilometers per hour. 10 meters to the water. Inside, 72 passengers and 9 crew, many praying. Mostovoy levels the plane and gently touches the surface. The aircraft skims like a hydroplane, then stops near a bridge. Resolution? Everyone survived. The pilot faced disciplinary action for unauthorized action, but was later honored. The plane, carried away by the current 3 days later, never recovered. Takeaway? Sometimes you have to break the rules, because life is more important than the manual. December 24th, 1971. 17-year-old Julianne Kopka flies with her mother from Germany to the Peruvian Amazon. Lightning strikes the wing, sparking a fire. Julianne loses consciousness. The problem? She wakes up in the jungle, still strapped to her seat. It cushioned her fall. Of 92 people on board, only she survived. Around her, predators, venomous snakes, no food or water. No map, no gear, just a few candies and a broken flashlight. The solution? Julianne uses skills her biologist father taught her as a child, finds a stream to drink from, avoids danger zones, for example, crocodile habitats, eats only what's proven safe, for example, fruits seen eaten by monkeys. Climax. On day 10, she finds a fisherman's boat in a signal fire. Her body is covered in insect bites and thorn wounds, but she's conscious. She screams, unheard, until one fisherman turns around. Resolution. She's taken to a hospital. Later, she writes, "When I fell from the sky," and becomes a biologist like her father. Takeaway. Survival isn't about muscle strength, it's about knowledge and calm. May 28, 1998. A tank explodes at a Texas oil refinery. Fire engulfs the workshops. Inside, workers trapped by flames. The problem? Temperature 1,000 degrees Celsius, almost no oxygen. Standard protocol, wait for the fire to subside, but that means certain death. The solution? Firefighter Damian Thornton defies direct orders. He leads his team straight into the fire. Their shields, wet blankets, and oxygen masks. Plan, reach the roof hatch, tear it open, and pull people out. Climax, 3 minutes in the inferno. Masks fog up, zero visibility. Damian feels for the hatch and rips it open with his bare hands. 100 people surge out, burned but alive. Resolution? Damian faced dismissal for insubordination, but the workers defended him. Later, he received a medal, and his method entered rescue textbooks. Takeaway: sometimes heroism means not following the rules, but making your own. 3 stories, 3 impossible choices, but they share something: determination. When everyone said impossible, they said, "I'll try." Knowledge and wit. They used what they had: a river as a runway, survival skills, wet blankets. Humanity. They saved lives, not for awards, but for life itself. So if you ever feel there's no way out, remember them, because impossible is just a word.
Imagine this, a tiny submarine crushed by 400 atmospheres of pressure, sinking into a black abyss. Outside, pitch darkness. Inside, 6 people, their oxygen dripping away like sand in an hourglass. This isn't a movie, this is real. And right now, somewhere on Earth, a rescue team is betting everything on a plan so crazy, even they don't believe it will work. Today, we're diving into the most insane rescue missions ever attempted. Missions where logic said impossible, but humans said, watch us. From underwater tombs to burning skyscrapers, we'll uncover why a 1970 submarine rescue almost caused a nuclear war, how a soccer team survived 18 days in a flooded cave with 0 gear, and the secret reason NASA got involved in a mine collapse 5,000 miles from space. Buckle up, this isn't just history, it's a masterclass in defying the odds. Let's kick off with a story so wild it was almost classified forever. 1973, the Cold War is at its peak. The USSR and USA are eyeball to eyeball. And then, a Soviet submarine sinks right in the middle of a US naval exercise zone. The sub, K-129, vanished with 98 crew members. The US detects the crash and makes a shocking decision: retrieve it. But here's the kicker: they don't tell the Soviets, they don't tell anyone. Curiosity loop. Why risk a global crisis? What was so important on that sub that the CIA greenlit a $200 million top-secret operation? Answer: nuclear missiles, 3 of them. If the US could recover them, they'd unlock Soviet tech secrets. But the sub was at 16,500 feet, deeper than any human had ever gone. The insane plan? Build a giant claw, lower it from a ship without the Soviets noticing, and snatch the sub like a carnival prize. Twist? They almost succeeded. The claw grabbed the sub, but it snapped. Only the front third was recovered. Among the wreckage, 6 bodies. The US gave them a military burial at sea, a surreal moment where enemies honored each other in secret. Think about those sailors. They died in darkness, never knowing their sub would become a pawn in a spy game. And the rescuers, they risked war to bring home fragments. Now, let's jump to 2018, Thailand. A youth soccer team goes exploring in a cave and gets trapped by a monsoon. The water rises, their flashlights flicker, and the world watches, helpless. For 9 days, they survive on drips of water from the walls. No food, no light, just the sound of rushing water and the knowledge: if rescuers can't reach them, they'll drown. Question: how do you rescue 12 kids and their coach from a labyrinth flooded with rapids? Diving gear? Too risky. Waiting, the monsoon will finish the job. The wild solution? Sedate them, wrap them in rubber suits, and drag them through pitch-black underwater tunnels. Stakes? If the sedative fails, the kid wakes up, panics, rips off the mask. If the current hits, they're smashed into rocks. If the line snaps, they're lost forever. Real-life hero? Rick Stanton, a 56-year-old British plumber turned cave diver. He's the one who found them. His first words? How many are there? The coach replies, 13. Stanton freezes. 13, an unlucky number. But he pushes on. Climax? The rescue takes 18 hours. Every diver knows one mistake equals death. But they pull it off. All 13 survive. This wasn't high-tech. It was human will. A plumber, a monk, the coach who kept the kids calm, and the global army of volunteers. Sometimes the craziest rescues are the simplest. Just people saying, "We won't leave you." Picture this. 33 men buried 2,300 feet below Chile's Atacama Desert. Their mine collapsed. The air is toxic, and their only link to the surface? A 4-inch drill hole. For 17 days, they're presumed dead. Then, a drill breaks through. They send up a note. "We are fine in the refuge, the 33 of us." Shocking fact, they survived on 2 spoonfuls of tuna, 1 cracker, and half a glass of milk per day. For weeks. How? A hierarchy. They rationed food. They appointed a cook. They even held Bible studies to stop panic. One man, Mario Sepulveda, became their emotional anchor, cracking jokes, sharing stories, and refusing to let hope die. The rescue plan? Drill a rescue shaft. But here's the catch. It has to be perfect. 1 wobble equals cave-in. And the drill has never gone this deep before. Tension builder? Day 50, the drill hits a pocket of hot gas. The team holds their breath. If it ignites, it doesn't. They push on. Final countdown? The capsule arrives. It's named Phoenix. Each miner climbs in, blindfolded to avoid panic. The ascent takes 15 minutes, but to them, it's a lifetime. Takeaway? This wasn't just engineering, it was psychology. A leader who kept 32 men from despair, a nation that united, and a drill bit that said, "We're coming." These stories aren't just about survival. They're about what humans can achieve when the stakes are life or death. From eating human flesh to landing planes on rivers, these rescues push the limits of what we thought possible. So next time you face a challenge, remember, if these people could do the impossible, what can you do? Drop a comment below. Which rescue shocked you the most? And don't forget to like and subscribe. We've got more mind-blowing stories coming your way.
Have you ever felt like someone was holding you back, stopping you from stepping into the abyss, steering you away from a dangerous path? Even if you don't believe in such things, these stories happen. Today, I'll tell you about people who should have died, but survived. These aren't movie plots. These are real cases where science, chance, and something inexplicable merged. Why do some perish while others are saved? We'll explore 3 stories that will send shivers down your spine. And at the end, I'll ask you a question I don't have the answer to, but perhaps you'll find it yourself. 1972, Yugoslavia. 22-year-old flight attendant Vesna Vulović falls from an altitude of 10,160 meters without a parachute. The plane exploded mid-air. Everyone died. She survived. How? Doctors still shrug. She was found in the wreckage, frozen in the snow. Fractures, injuries, but alive. Why is this incredible? At that height, the body should have reached speeds of 300 to 350 kilometers per hour. The impact with the ground would be equivalent to falling from a 30-story building. She spent 27 days in a coma, but recovered. She said, "I don't remember the fall. It was like the light went out and then came back on." But here's the strange part. Later, it turned out she was sitting in the tail section, where the pressure from the explosion created an air cushion, and the snow softened the impact. Even so, the odds were 1 in a million.
2014, Japan. Mount Ontake begins to erupt. 63 people are trapped. Among them, 45-year-old climber Hiroshi Sato. He found himself in a cloud of scorching gas. Temperature, 400 degrees Celsius. No oxygen. He collapses, loses consciousness, but 12 hours later, he's found. Alive. How? He hid in a crevice where there was a pocket of cooler air. His body cooled to 28 degrees Celsius. Hypothermia saved him from burns. When they found him, he was breathing, but as cold as ice. Doctors called it the miracle of hypothermia. But there's a twist, the mystery. A year later, he climbed Ontake again. He said, "I had to thank the volcano for the second chance."
1982. American Steven Callahan sets out on a solo voyage across the Atlantic. His boat sinks. He's left on an inflatable raft for 76 days. Food? Enough for a week. Water? Almost none. Sharks circle around. He catches fish with his bare hands, drinks rainwater. But the worst part wasn't hunger. He started hearing voices, seeing ghosts, talking to them. Then rescue. Fishermen spotted him. But here's what's striking. He wrote everything down in a diary. There's a line, "I realized death isn't the end. It's just a door." Scientists later studied his notes. Conclusion? Psychosis from dehydration might have saved him. His brain created conversational partners to avoid going mad.
So what's the common thread? Coincidence? Yes, but too precise. Science? Partially, but not everything is explained. Willpower? Absolutely, but even that can't withstand such trials. There's a theory. In critical moments, the brain activates hidden reserves. For example, accelerated reaction, like Vesna's, hypothermia as protection, like Hiroshi's, psychological adaptation, like Steven's. But there's another explanation. Some believe that in such moments, a person crosses a threshold and something, fate, energy, God, brings them back. I don't know what's true, but these stories make you wonder, what would you do? Imagine, you're falling from the sky. Fire surrounds you. You're alone in the ocean. What would make you fight? Leave a comment. Which story shocked you the most? And if you have your own moment of rescue, share it. Maybe your experience will help someone else.